Hello students, I am Nisha Nair. In this video, we are going to learn about the corrosion and how corrosion take place and types of corrosion. So, what is corrosion? As we know, corrosion is the decay of metal, or it will destroy the metal and metallic properties. We can see in our environments different metals get destroyed in the different way. The most natural things we see is the decay of iron. Iron get rusted and it lost its all properties like electrical property, metallic property, ductility, malleability. It become a brittle, it lost its all metal properties. So corrosion means the decay or the rusting of metals. Here the decay of metal take place, such process is known as a corrosion. Now, how corrosion take place? In corrosion, you can see the oxidations and reduction reactions. Means in metal you can see oxidation reactions, and in oxygen you can see reduction reactions. Means metals which are in the pure forms get oxidized into a plus ions or get oxidized into cation form, and that electrons is donated to the oxygens which is on the surface of that metals. So here you can see the corrosion. In basically corrosion is a oxidation reduction reaction. So where oxidation reaction takes place, where reduction reaction takes place. Now, if we compare between the metal, if we take a metal surface and if oxygen molecules, means atmospheric air or water molecule moisture is there on the metal surface, and if the metal surface is not protected, what will happen means metal will donate electrons, because metal has that property of donating electrons. So metal will donate electrons. So from a neutral atom, metal is converted into a positive ions. It is converted into cation. Now that is oxidation reactions, and this electron is accepted by oxygen. As we know, oxygen is highly electronegative atom. It has a tendency to absorb the electrons from other atom. So this electrons is taken from oxygen, is taken by oxygen, and oxygen get liberated as a oxygen gas. So metal from pure form it get into the oxides form. So this metallic oxide lost its all property. Means corrosion means rusting of metal, means the metal, pure form of metal is converted into a oxides form. So oxidation reaction take place on the metal and reduction takes place on the oxygen side. So this is the mechanism how the corrosion take place. Now, there are different types of corrosions like atmosphere corrosions, then corrosion due to differential aerations, then waterline corrosions and pitting corrosions, crevice corrosions, etc. Now, what is atmosphere corrosion? In atmosphere corrosions, what takes place means on metal surface, the oxygen or water molecule will touch the metal surface and metal surface is not protected. Then as like corrosions, how mechanism take place, same mechanism here also take place. Metal atom will liberate its electrons, it will get oxidation and oxygen will take that electron, oxygen get reduced, hence metal is converted from metal form to the metal oxide forms, thus rusting will start. If one metal get converted into metal oxides, it is a chain reactions, other metal will get simultaneously converted into metal oxide, and after some times we can see entire metal gets into formation of metal oxides, means it lost all its metallic properties like it get brittle, it get break, or it lost its ductility properties and every properties. Now there are another type of a corrosion. One is differential of aeration and waterline corrosions. In both the concept is same, means due to the difference in concentration of oxygen molecules. Due to the concentration difference in the oxygen molecules also corrosion take place. Means if we take a beaker and in this beaker you can see a metal rod is dipped. Now a metal rod is dipped, you can see half part of metal is under the water and the another part is on the surface of water. So you can see the concentration of oxygen on the upper parts of metal is high and the concentration of oxygen on the lower part is low. So what will happen means on lower part the oxidation reaction take place. That will becomes anode part. Oxidation reaction take place and the upper part will becomes a cathode part. It will becomes reduction reaction. Means the aeration, the oxygen from the atmosphere will come and sit on the upper part of a metal, and that oxygen will take electrons from the lower part of a metal. So the lower part of metal get oxidized, it converts from metal to positive ions, and that electrons is absorbed from the oxygen which is on the sitting on the surface of the metal on the top side. So First you can see the corrosion take place from the bottom and then it gets separated into the different part of the metal. So due to the concentration difference in oxygens, here the corrosion take place. In both, in differential of aeration corrosions and in waterline corrosions, the concept is same. The concept is what? The difference in concentration of air molecule or difference in concentration of oxygen molecule. Now is a pitting corrosions. In pitting corrosion, you can see a corrosion start from a pitting. Pit means a hole. If a metal surface is rough, it doesn't have a smooth surface, so corrosion will start from the pitting side, means from the hole side. That means there also the concept is coming from the difference in the concentration of oxygen. If the on which surface or in the which surface part the concentration of oxygen is low, from there corrosion will start. Means a pitting, even from the hole the corrosion will start and it gets spreaded into the different part of the body. Like virus, it gets spreaded into the other part of the metal surface. So corrosion will start from the pit. So such type of a corrosion is called as pitting corrosions. Means that hole will act as an anode part and the rather part will act as a cathode part. Means the metal atoms in that hole will convert first into the anode forms and these electrons are taken from the other part of oxygen molecules, and thus the corrosion will start from the pitting sides to the other sides of the metal. That is called as a pitting corrosion. So these are the different types of corrosions, and the basic and the major fundamental thing is the oxidation reduction reaction is taking place, and oxidation reaction is taking place in the metal atoms and the reductions on the oxygen molecules or the water molecules. And mainly here metal is converted into metal oxide form. Thus metal will lose its all property once it will leave this pure form. So the corrosion means decaying of metal. Metal is losing its all property.